requests from various individuals, groups, and organizations. I'll read them all off. A. Sheila Rose et al., Youth Health Service Incorporated, $5,000 contribution request. Thank you for being here, Ms. Rose. B. Bill Turner, Family Refuge Center, $20,000 contribution request. Mr. Turner, thank you for being here, I think. C. Child and Youth Advocacy Center, $10,000 contribution request. D. Marilyn Norris, Pocahontas County Prevention Coalition, $20,000 contribution request for substance abuse prevention programs. Got some big ticket items today. E. Gibbs Kinderman. Is Gibbs here?
We're here.
Oh, you're okay.
I'm from the library.
Okay, 150th Anniversary Troop Mountain Battle Mural Project, $5,000 contribution request. F. Mountain Resource Conservation and Development Area Incorporated, $1,000 contribution request. Is Mountain Resource represented here?
They're not, but I received the second request from them. We didn't take action on them back in the spring, but I received the second request, so I added it.
Thank you. G. Barbara Lay, Chad, you're here for this one, right? Pocahontas Memorial Hospital, $3,000 contribution request for roadside sign at hospital entrance. Okay, we have a total pool of how many requests here? What's the total dollar amount? 20, 40, 50.
I thought it was 64, but I
60,
didn't.
64, yes it is. Okay, and we have a line item scheduled for contributions for this fiscal year of $200,000. It's been a good year. I want everyone to realize, I'm sure Martin will speak to this too because he always does, that a large part of our county finance comes from the payment in lieu of taxes, PILT, PILT for short. It's a substantial payment that we receive because we can't, from the federal government, because we can't collect property taxes on federal land. So because of the forestry land, a large percentage of which is owned by the federal government, they pay us money in lieu of taxes that we can't collect. The payment this year was $766,000. We had a carryover of $222,000. Without that PIL payment, we would have been in the hole $544,000. We would have been in the red $500,000. Because of the PIL payment, we're able to do something as generous and as nice, and we all love being able to do this. Put a $200,000 line item into contributions. I'm pretty sure that would be the biggest contribution line item this commission's ever entertained. In fact, we just added it as a line item, I think, 2 years ago. Last year it was 150. It started out, I think, at 75 or 100, and we added another 50 to it when we had a generous carryover.
Total from last year.
But so we've got a big contribution request line item this year, and I'm just going to throw some more doom and gloom out there. The PILT payment in the future is under question. It's not clear at this point that it's renewed for another year, and if it is, it's only for another year. This is coupled with, if you will, the Safe and Secure Rural Schools Act. And remember, we had a big meeting at the Opera House several months ago. We talked about the possibility of losing 10 teachers if that funding wouldn't come through. So, and Rockefeller and Manchin signed on to sponsor legislation to enact, to extend it one more year. My understanding is, and it's not, I need to make some calls to find out some more information about this, but that PILT will be going along with that. If that goes through, great, we're good for another year. If it doesn't, 2 years down the road, we're looking at massive cuts. And if you do the numbers, $500,000 in the hole, and you look at how many courthouse employees that is, that would be on the order of 12 to 14 courthouse employees laid off, and cuts across all departments. So I want us all to keep that in mind as we talk about the contribution request today. It's still possible within our power to revise the budget we're currently under, to take some of the $200,000 that's allocated for contributions and just put that back into other line items that we would feel are more needy of that money at this time. $200,000?
It is.
Okay. This is our first of 4 quarterly contribution meetings. If we were dead set on giving out every dollar of $200,000, then that would be at a pace of $50,000 per meeting. Today we're a full $64,000. So, for my thinking anyway, I'll let the others speak for themselves, I'm not prepared to give out $64,000 today. So we'll have to talk about each item one at a time. But that's my preamble to this.
May I make a
Please.
preamble statement? 6 years ago, when I first came onto this commission, I thought the way to solve many of these social problems which were before us was to throw a lot of money at these problems. And although I'm still very much a Democrat, my position after 6 years is I think this is failing. I think we are spending a lot of money. We're doing a lot of what I would consider, and I don't mean to be rude to anybody in this room, but my perspective is that we're hand-holding a lot of problems. The community corrections and the prevention and all of these issues dealing with drugs, especially drugs, I feel that the commission actually would be probably better off to spend the money on the jail bill than it would be to continue to foster these second and third chances and this rehabilitation and so on. I don't think that we are doing a service to this problem by stepping away from the consequences of the behavior of addiction, and that's what we're doing. That's number one. And number two is I'm rereading 713 of the West Virginia Code, which outlines the jurisdiction, powers, and duties of the county commission. I feel that we are getting very far afield from what our legal mandate is. Our legal mandate is to help run county government. It's to provide a courthouse, to provide for the custody of deeds and papers, and to superintend and administer the internal police and fiscal affairs of the county. And when you talk about what that means, they're talking about supervision of roads and emergency communication centers and the running of county government, to make sure that the light bill is paid, that the air conditioning at the courthouse works, that the front steps are swept off when the snow is there, that the employees show up for work on time, that their salaries are paid, and that kind of thing. When we're getting into spending these enormous amounts of money, and as Commissioner Fleming rightly points out, money which may shortly be very unavailable or shrink a great deal, I think we've got to be very careful that we're not becoming a funding agency for the state of West Virginia on a broad range of social services. And so those are the things that really concern me about the whole place that we've gotten ourselves into. Honestly, again, I think we would be better off paying the jail bill than we would be doing a lot of these things. That's my feeling about it.